Okay, we're back to jelly plate printing, and I'm going to show you using open acrylic, but then if you don't have open acrylic, which has a retarding agent in, you can add it with a bottle of retarding agent. So I'm going to do both, and then I'm going to show you how to roll the ink out on the plate, and then I'm going to do some very sort of direct, like almost painting on this. More spontaneous, and then pulling a print. And then I'm going to show you two other drawing with an oil pastel, using it as a resist. It could be oil pastel or it could be a crayon. And then making more textured papers. And I'm thinking next week, just thinking out loud here, I'm thinking with all of our thousands of papers that we've made, maybe we'll recombine them and make a tapestry. Okay, so this is open. I'm going to squeeze. I can get my tube open again. All right. So this one is a slow dry. Got my Prussian blue, which is slow dry. And then Van Dyke brown. Red, and this is regular acrylic, and so I have to add some slow dry medium. I tried earlier testing it out without, and really the paper starts sticking to the gel plate. So I hope people have some acrylic paint that is slow dry. So I'm just going to pre-mix this in there, have it ready to go. Okay, so using the printing brayer, I dipped in, but then the key, I kind of like, how do I describe it? I roll and I kind of lift, roll, lift, back and forth. I'm just doing this on my palette paper to get an even distribution of paint. I don't want blobby blob. There might be times you want blobby blob, but right now I don't want blobby blob. Okay, then I'm just going to roll, get some more ink, roll. So if you want it even, then you just keep rolling back and forth on your plate till it looks even. Okay, now I'm going to mess it up. Okay, so I'm just going to pick a face because, well, that's what I often pick. And one thing you can do that's fun is this is a damp rag, and I can do some smearing or some erasing with this rag to create a shape. I'm going to do a wacky face, but you could go abstract with this. That's supposed to be the nose, in case you're wondering. So I can put paint directly on there with the palette knife. This is a little, what do you call it, a skewer. I can draw onto the surface with that. You can use Q-tips to pull out some paint. So this is why you want the paint to be slow drying, because I need enough time to manipulate the paint and not have it dry out on me. Okay, this is, I think it's a mushroom brush. Haven't used it before. Okay, so I'm pulling that out. He's going to have, hopefully that'll show. Okay, then I can come in. So this is much more spontaneous than some of the things we've been doing. Just directly painting on here. I'll probably get 2 prints out of this. Usually they call it mono printing, but I guess it's duo printing. I don't know. Okay, I'm going to see what I get. And this is rice paper, and it's thin enough you can see the image coming through. I'm going to rub a little bit harder up here where the mushroom brush was. I hope I get that texture. Okay, so yeah, I like the mushroom brush. I haven't used that before. He looks like he's, what is it, a flat top? Okay, so then there's print 1. I'm going to do print 2. I don't think I'm going to see very much. I think a lot of my ink has already disappeared. Wrong, actually. Okay, so this is much lighter. It's called the ghost print. I can save this, and then if I want to come back later and add a little bit more, either paint or drawing, I can. Okay. Okay, so, I'm going to do an abstract one now, just so you kind of get some ideas here. All right. And let's say I can mix in another color instead of being so controlled there. Okay. Then let's see, I'll use that mushroom brush. So I think this is kind of, you can't really go wrong, I just playing around, seeing what I can get using different brushes, tools. And if you don't like something, like let's say I don't like that area, I want to go a little thicker, I can put more in there. What if I want to go even thicker? Let's see. Okay, let's pull a print and see what happens. I'm going to do this one on brown grocery bag. Okay, that's kind of cool. And then when this dries, I could see coming back and putting maybe dry brushing over some of these to push them back, or putting on some thicker paint. I could do collage material. I like it on the brown bag. I'm going to do one on the rice paper. See the difference? Okay, there it is on the rice paper. And then if I kind of like this composition, I can keep going. Same composition, but different colors. Okay, I've got that palette knife that's got the sort of corrugation on it. There's that one. Going to do another one. So I just keep going. I'm not going to rinse my plate between every single one. So there's an element of chance here, which I like, that whatever's left over will factor into the next print. I like this ghost print. I've got a lot. Okay, let me just pull off some of that excess ink, and then I'm going to show you another technique. And Jillian, I think this would be really fun to do with your kids. So, okay, there's the third ghost print. Okay, so the next one, create some space here. I'm going to keep this really simple, but you could get pretty complex with this. And I'm just going to use a sheet of printer paper. Okay, now you could use a China marker, which is just it's basically a wax crayon. You could use an oil pastel. You could probably use a kid's crayon too. I'm going to try the China marker, and then I'm going to do the oil pastel to see if that works. So I'm going to keep this, I'll try and keep this simple. Okay, now, and the color doesn't matter. I'm just testing out to see which works better. Is it the oil pastel or the China marker? Okay, so I've got my drawing. Now I'm just letting all my paint mix. Okay. So for this one, you do want an even distribution of paint. Okay, I put my image down. So that crayon, it should act like a resist. Let's see if the magic worked here. Okay, it's a little bit hard to see because of the color. Okay, there we go. So the resist worked, and I got a transfer of that drawing. I think you could even do this with possibly a magazine, like you could oil pastel over some shapes, or if you want to print out an image of something you like and then go over with oil pastel, it should work. Let me try another one. And it seems like the oil pastel or the China marker, either one is fine. Okay, so Okay, it's my funky chicken. Okay, so here we go. Going to try red this time because I'm hoping it'll show up more so you can see it better. You can see how I keep going till the distribution of paint is pretty even. Okay. Well, he's there, but this paint is already getting a little bit dry, even though it has the retarding agent in it. But I know this works. I tested it out earlier, and it worked. So okay, so it worked. It's a little bit funky, and I think that's because the paint is drying. So make sure you have enough retarding agent in your paint. But I like some of the things going on in here. I could see collaging some newspaper or book pages in there. And there you go.